Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is a Legacy School Literacy lesson for Year 6, Week 6. So, for this lesson, all you'll need is your Checkpoint 1 textbook from pages 20 to 21 and your workbook on page 9. So, our lesson today is about verbs, and you guys should all know about verbs very well by now. So verbs are words which describe an action or a state of being that are central to the structure of a sentence. So we all know that we cannot form a sentence without there being a verb in it. We have three examples here. Number 1, the boy broke the window. Number 2, the dog barked. And number 3, the ugly duckling became a swan. So each of these sentences is unique, and a verb is used in a very different way in each sentence. We're going to have a closer look. In each of these examples, the verb is the word written in italics. That means it's slanted. The noun that performs the action of the verb, so the noun that's actually carrying out the verb, like boy or dog or duckling, is referred to as the subject of the verb. So in sentence 1, the boy is our subject because the boy is the person who broke the window. In the first example, the verb broke is followed by the noun window, as you can see. In a sentence like this, the noun that follows the verb is known as the object of the verb, and it is said to suffer the action of the verb. So here, window is our object because it is the noun that is affected by the verb. So what broke? The window broke. So the window is the object of the verb broke. All right, a verb which is followed by an object is called a transitive verb. All right. So broke here is a transitive verb because it is followed by an object. In the second example, there is no object in the sentence. The dog barked. In this case, the verb barked, which is not followed by an object, is called intransitive. Right? But some verbs can be either transitive or intransitive depending on how they are used. So, for example, if I change the sentence a little bit and I said, the dog barked at the mailman. All right, here barked would become transitive because we would give it an object, the mailman. The mailman would be affected by the barking, or he would be subject to the barking. So remember that verbs can be either transitive or intransitive depending on how they are used. Okay, let's move on. So finally, verbs can describe a state of being as well as an action, like became in the third example. Let's have a look at the third example. The ugly duckling became a swan. The subject of the verb in this example, the ugly duckling, and the word that follows the verb, swan, they both refer to the same thing. The ugly duckling became a swan. It's the same subject. All right? So words that follow verbs like became are known as complements because they complete the sense of the sentence. All right? So the ugly duckling and the swan here are our complements. All right, let's move on to our exercise. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to list the verbs in the following sentences, then copy and complete the table that follows. So I don't need you to list the verbs per se, just circle them. But if you are working in your copybook, you would probably have to list them. So number 1, Stephen ate his lunch quickly. Let's do number 1 together. So here our verb is obviously ate, and let's go ahead and try to fill out the table. So the verb is ate. We know that it's transitive because there is an object afterwards, lunch, right? He ate his lunch. His lunch was affected by the verb ate. So we'll write transitive there. So the subject of the verb or the subject of the sentence is Stephen. So we'll write Stephen there. The object of the verb or the thing or the noun that is affected by the verb ate is lunch. And a complement if there is one. Here we don't have a complement, so we're just going to go ahead and skip that. So you're going to carry on for all 7 example sentences, and I think that's pretty straightforward. After you're done with that, go ahead and open up your workbook, your literacy workbook, to page 9. You're going to read the following paragraphs and identify all of the verbs and all of their subjects. Then complete the table below. Some sentences have more than one verb, so you have to keep that in mind. So you're going to read through the paragraphs, list down all the subjects first, and then list down all of their verbs afterwards. okay? Or list all of the verbs first and then all of their subjects afterwards. All right. Good luck, you guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me on the Seesaw app, and I can't wait to see your work.